Hello there. If you're watching this, then you've been chosen for a command position within the Center for Epidemic Research and Control, or CERC, as it's most commonly abbreviated. In this instructional presentation, you'll be taught everything you need to know when setting up a field base. We'll go over how to deploy base structures and power your buildings, which buildings you'll need when first setting up a base, a more detailed look at some of the specialized structures you'll be deploying, and lastly, an overview of your options for defensive emplacements. Let's get started with the basics of building placement and rotation. Before you place any buildings, in most situations, you'll require a construction unit. For this example, we'll be using an engineer.
What can I do for you?
With the unit selected, access the Build menu by pressing the Construction button. From this menu, we'll be placing what is the foundation for any field operation, the CERC Field Headquarters. Once you select the placement location, using left-click, you can move the mouse to rotate the direction a building faces, or if you wish, you can use the R and T keys to manually rotate a structure before placement. This can come in handy when trying to fit structures into a narrow position. You can also toggle this feature off using the left Shift key. As an additional feature, any debris or objects around the structure will be automatically removed. However, if you wish to maintain natural features in an area for defensive or aesthetic purposes, then you can toggle this feature by using left control while placing a building. Some structures, such as walls, may need to face a specific direction and will have an arrow illustrating which way they are facing while you place them. If needed, you can flip these structures using the left Shift key. Once you've placed the field headquarters, you'll notice that the engineer will do some initial preparation work, then signal for the structure to be delivered via a Skycrane helicopter. The majority of your primary field structures are deployed this way, with only smaller buildings such as generators or field defenses being constructed on site. This provides excellent flexibility and allows you to construct bases quickly in key locations wherever they're required. Now you have access to the rest of your construction menu, and a functional HQ from which to expand your operations. This building can construct logistical and scout units, such as the Atlas support vehicle, which can be configured into many roles, such as supplying ammo, fuel, repair capabilities, or even a mobile guard tower, which can be deployed to secure an area. It can also train additional engineers, which will allow you to quickly expand. Once you've secured an area and begun construction of your base, you'll need to secure funding in order to requisition additional units and structures. Your primary method of income is in the form of security operations centers. Locations for these buildings are spread throughout the area and represent locations of importance. By constructing an ops center at these marked positions, you'll be awarded additional funding in the form of supply drops, which will be delivered every minute to an operations center of your choosing. Operations centers provide varying amounts of income, having 3 levels of value depending on how important the location is. It'll be up to you to decide how many and in what order you wish to seize these locations. Ops centers can also be upgraded a total of twice to provide increased amounts of supply income, with the first upgrade increasing supply by 20% and the second increasing it a further 10%. There are other ways to generate income, but those will be covered in a separate briefing packet. Now let's look at expanding your ability to project force. Your 2 primary structures for deploying combat forces are the barracks and the motor pool. The barracks deploys various infantry units, the most universal of which is the assault, a general-purpose jack-of-all-trades able to be equipped for most situations. You'll also find units like the Heavy, who wields a light machine gun and can deploy to provide suppressive area denial in a zone. Whatever you choose, infantry often form the backbone of your operations, so be sure to keep a well-equipped force on standby in case of emergencies. We also have the motor pool. This building is responsible for deploying and maintaining CERC's vehicles. With it, you can obtain units such as the Sparrow, a light recon and transport helicopter, or other assorted vehicles. These provide an excellent force multiplier and allow you to give heavier support and transport to your forces. You'll find in both structures there are many different units to experiment with, as well as additional units that can be unlocked through base upgrades or the doctrine trees. Once you've deployed either or both of these structures, you'll notice that they require power. Many buildings and defenses the CERC can deploy require a source of power. Without it, they will not function in any capacity. In order to remedy this, you'll need to construct a generator. A generator, once constructed, provides a large amount of power within a small radius around itself. However, you may find some of your structures out of range. If this is the case, you can extend the generator's range using power pylons. These cheap constructions will allow you to provide power across larger distances without putting your generators at risk. Before we move on, let's take a look at 3 specialized structures, each of which serves a very unique role. First, we have the medical facility. This building dispenses medical aid to any friendly units in the vicinity, healing them of any damage they may have taken. It is also capable of curing any infection your units may have contracted. This building also allows you to train and deploy medics. These units are lightly armed and armored, but will move to any nearby wounded and provide medical aid, allowing troops to remain in the field longer.
I'll help if I can.
Secondly, we have the helipad. This rapidly deployable landing zone provides a safe location for your rotary aircraft to land, in order to be rearmed, refueled, and repaired. It can also be used as an evacuation site if needed, but that will be covered in a separate briefing. Finally, we have the command center. More advanced CERC operations require an upgraded headquarters. This command and control hub doesn't do much on its own, but it allows you to unlock additional forces for deployment, such as special operations units and snipers. It also provides access to upgrades, which may prove vital to completing your mission. Now we'll focus on the kind of constructions you'll be deploying to defend your position. This is split into 2 categories. Firstly, defenses. This refers to things such as walls, towers, spotlights, and turrets. We'll take a closer look at these now. Starting with CERC walls. These modular chain link fences are cheap and easy to deploy, while also providing a sturdy defense against most threats, and if need be, can be upgraded with additional razor wire as well as steel plating to provide a barrier that even a tank would struggle to drive through. Additionally, if required, large enough sections can be converted into gates in order to allow movement past the wall. Another useful structure is the spotlight. This high-powered beam mounted on a retractable tower will, when powered, provide a strong cone of light, which will allow you to see anything that enters its range. Useful for covering streets or dark areas where your forces may not be able to see well. The CERC also has access to prefabricated guard towers, which can be assembled rapidly in any location. And with a guard stationed inside, they provide 360 degrees of protection. Tower guards can be equipped with a wide variety of weapons, from assault rifles to light machine guns, or even a sniper rifle. And in the case of airborne hostiles, you may also deploy the Avenger anti-air system. These remote turrets fire powerful missiles, providing a potent defense against anything in the air, but they're unable to engage ground targets and come with a hefty cost and power requirement. Those are just a few of the defenses you can construct. There are many others which all vary in cost and availability. Some defensive constructions will also require research or approval from CERC Command before you can deploy them. Before we wrap things up, we'll cover the last aspect of defensive building: field constructions. These refer to more rapidly assembled objects such as sandbags, barbed wire, barriers, and other miscellaneous deployables. Many basic units have access to field constructions in order to hastily fortify areas with sandbags and barbed wire, but engineers have an even larger selection, able to deploy concrete barriers, ESCO barricades, and other assorted objects like signage for civilians and supply crates for the base. That brings us to the conclusion of this command briefing. There's much more to learn in the field, but with this information, you should have the tools you need to handle managing a CERC operation. Thank you for your attention, and best of luck in your new role with the CERC Command Division. If you wish to view more in this series, please contact your commanding officer and submit the prerequisite forms. CERC command briefings are classified, and any unauthorized viewing or distribution may result in demotion or court-martial.